Hello everyone, Storm01 here. Today we'll be doing a live stream again, having an update. We'll be watching two major systems here. Both of these systems can bring some wind. It can bring us some severe weather, like you see here I'm up right now. And even it can bring quite a bit of snow. And we'll be reviewing all three of those. So I got the chat open, so let's go ahead and get started with the live stream here. So we're right now taking a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook here. We'll take a look at the snow in a moment. But as you can see here, the slight risk area has been pushed a little bit further up to the north and east. They did include an enhanced risk as well here. So they got the marginal risk extending from parts of Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, all the way back down into Mississippi and Louisiana and Texas, and even Alabama. And they got a slight risk extended from Missouri, Illinois, all the way back down to Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee, and Kentucky. You got the enhanced risk, kind of smack middle, but not as much into Missouri, Illinois. It's more along the Mississippi River Valley from nearby Paducah, Kentucky, which is about right over here, all the way down into near Jackson, which is a little bit over here. So your main threats from the severe weather threat, we do have a 5% chance for tornadoes. So I could rule out probably a few tornadoes. Now, the dangerous thing about this here is it's going to be overnight. So if we do see some tornado warnings, it's going to be dangerous in the night. As you can see here with the damaging winds, that's what upgrade to enhanced risk is the damaging winds up to 30%. And the hail threat stays north for parts of Missouri, Illinois, Kansas, and even parts of Iowa. We move on to day 2. There's no severe weather risk for tomorrow. Day 3, there is a marginal risk for parts of the desert southwest like Arizona. We start to keep an eye on the next system here. So this is day 4. So this is Black Friday here. This is when things start to get a little bit active. They do have it still at a very similar spot. They got it for parts of Kansas. It's now including most of Oklahoma at this point, and even back down into Texas there. That's not the only day. We do have day 5 risk here for pretty much all of Louisiana, parts of Texas, Arkansas, and Mississippi there, and a very small portion of Oklahoma there. Now, the main threats with this system here looks to be damaging winds, large hail, even a few tornadoes. We could even see some supercells. Now, this is the secondary severe weather season of the year, which is fall. So we got to take things like this pretty seriously here. Especially the setup here, but we'll get to the severe weather ingredients in a moment, but first we're going to look into some models here. Okay, it's just getting to ATZ, but we're not going to wait on that. We're just going straight to 12Z. So your low pressure system is currently over Kansas here. You got quite a bit of snow on the north side of the system, even on the west side. I even heard on social media there's been reports of snowfall amounts up to 30 inches for parts of Colorado, which is a lot of snow. Now, it seems like the system here will be moving a little bit quicker past the points, but it slows down as it reaches towards Wisconsin and Michigan. And Michigan could be a target to see most of the snow, where we could probably see snowfall amounts probably of nearly 2 feet. And that system there passes there could affect New England there, but I think it's going to continue a little bit further into Canada there, so I'm not too worried about that. We do see a sudden surge of moisture here, but we got to back up a little bit here. You can see here on the west end of the United States here, we do have a very strong low. Now, this could be a pretty historic low. You can see here the low is 971 millibars, which it could create some history. We can see a lot of snow for those mountains of Oregon, California there. And since it dies off a little bit, but it should gain strength again As you can see here, it does bring more snow to California, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona, even into New Mexico and Colorado. Now, this is what severe weather gets really active about, and I think that's going to be the main story for this system here. It's going to be the severe weather. Now, there is differences with the the GFS here. So the GFS is a little bit faster, as you can see there, and it seems like it could develop to a new system as it reaches to the Atlantic. But for the severe weather threat area, we should start to see a negative tilt come in here. You got very strong winds, at least up further north. So you got plenty of moisture in place here for some severe weather. Let's see here. We'll take a look into the snowfall amounts. So let's look into these snowfall amounts really quick for the GFS here. So this is for the next 144 hours, which is about into Monday. Yes, Monday. As you can see here, most of the snow looks to be staying in the mountains of California and Oregon, where you can see snowfall amounts up to 4 feet or more. But with the first system, however, you can see quite a bit of snow up in Michigan and even Wisconsin and Minnesota. There could see snowfall amounts up to 2 feet. You can see some parts of the Central Plains here. Can see a little over a foot in some areas there. So that's your snowfall there for the GFS. Let's move on to the European model. So here's your low pressure system stands into Kansas there. We turn our wind gusts here. Let's move on to this system here. See, the wind gusts could be up to 109 miles per hour on the backside of this low for parts of California. If we move on to Wednesday, it should make land. Let's move on into the rain and thunder. Here, the precipitation. See, widespread snow there for parts of the Northwest there, and even to California and Nevada. It's basically most of the West. You can see whenever that moves on into the desert Southwest there, that's when things start to get really interesting here. So this low here should start to gain strength as it reaches to the desert Southwest, and right now it's over Salt Lake City. Tons of snow for Arizona and Utah. If we go back to around Thanksgiving, almost forgot about that. So around Thanksgiving here, for the most part, I think everyone will be okay, exception for the desert Southwest, at which they could see rain and a lot of mountain snow. There is uncertainties with the points here for snow and rain wise. So you could probably see rain, or you could probably won't see much of anything for those areas. So let's move on into Friday here. So your low pressure system starts to really deepen. Currently it's over in Colorado. You got some strong southerly winds here. So this is 5 o'clock on Friday. You can see some numerous thunderstorms start to develop in Texas and Oklahoma. And it seems like it's pushing the risk a little bit up to the north here. I'm sure there's going to be more storms than this here. I'll tell you that. I think that's a little underdone here, a little bit weaker with the severe weather. But man, look at all that snow on the north side. We may see a secondary system try to develop, I do believe, here. You can see here as we move on to Saturday here, your severe weather threat actually moves into Louisiana, Mississippi, and even Alabama. There, if we move on Saturday at midnight, you do have thunderstorms from Louisiana all the way up into Ohio. Some of them could be strong from Alabama into Kentucky. There could see some strong storms Saturday night. But the window, let's take a look into the wind really quick. So there's a couple different areas here. So if you're along the front, probably for the strong storm front, you can probably see winds gusting up to probably more of 45 miles per hour. If you go back here to like Nebraska on the backside of the low, could see blizzard conditions with winds gusting up to 50, probably more like 60 miles per hour for the wind gusts there. Snowfall amounts with this here. So here's the next 3 days here. Should probably put in next 3 days will be fine. So it seems like the snow dies down when it reaches Iowa and Minnesota there. But if you move up into Michigan, you could probably see near 2 feet or so. Snow. Next 5 days, the next wave comes in. You can see there's a lot of snow surrounding this. A lot of snow with this system here. You can see around Fargo, 16 inches. Bismarck, about a little over a foot. If you go up to Wisconsin, man, you're over 2 feet of snow. So I'll say Wisconsin and parts of Michigan and Minnesota could get slammed hard with snow. And they're not the only ones. If you go to the mountains of like California, you could probably see nearly 4 feet of snow. Next 10 days here, look how much snow for those mountains of California there, nearing up to 6 feet. It's actually, whoops, did not mean to do that. You can see a little bit of snow starting to pop up again in the Appalachian Mountains there. Let's see here. Let's take a look at rain accumulations here. So this is the rain for the next 10 days here. So looks to be parts of the west coast of California and Oregon looks to be wet. And same thing for parts of the Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley there. A general 1 to 3 inches of rain. So that's pretty much it for the snow and the rain. Let's move on to the severe weather, which is going to be a little bit more major than the snow itself. At least that's what I think. It could be a little bit more serious. So let's take a look at the HRRR model here. Usually this model here can do a pretty good job. So where is this going to show? Okay, Illinois, no. We're not going to look in Illinois. Let's see here if I can find it. Let's just look at the overview in the Midwest here. How about that? So here we go. So let's see what the HRRR model does show here. Okay. You see here, probably in the next 7 hours or so, you actually do have some thunderstorms here that develops along the Mississippi River. You see, that severe weather risk may be able to push into parts of Kentucky and Tennessee, probably even into Alabama and Mississippi as well. And even some new storms try to develop into Illinois and from Missouri. So probably coming in 2 different waves for these areas in here. So something to keep an eye on. Let's take a look into the supercell composite. Some pretty high values this spot, so I think that's a little overdone. Yeah, 9. Pretty high amounts there. Let's take a look into the significant tornado parameters. Yeah, I believe that's overdone too. You can see it's in the pink. So it's basically hatched territory, which I do believe it's over probably at a 5 is when you reach hatched territory. It also shows you how many tornadoes could develop there as well. Let's see here. The Cape. Cape is usually the biggest story for these systems here, especially this time of year. If you got Cape over probably like about 500, usually that's about severe weather territory at this time of year. But if it's in the summer, it's a different story. You can see here with the Cape values here, it's over 500, so severe weather could be imminent here. Well, let's move on into the next system here, which is going to be in the Severe Plains. And for the model run, 12Z. Let's take a look to the jet stream here. Alright, let's Taking a while. There we go. Let's see if we could get to. So here's around Thanksgiving. So this is basically severe weather timing. Here you do have a negative tail going on here. You got some strong southerly winds here in place up into the jet stream. Slight negative tilt. Negative tilt could do some big things here. So here's Friday here. So here's vorticity. Not a lot here. Vorticity wise, we can actually look into the NAM model. I just realized for Friday. We'll take a look to the supercell composite really quick. This is a combination of cape and shear. You guys don't know. Curious about tonight. Yeah, not much. Yeah, decent values here. You got some nice southerly winds here. You got the northerly winds coming in. It does create some rotations of storms, and it does bring the movement of storms southwest to northeast here. So let's take a look into a forecast sounding on this. So some of these storms could probably train, which can kill the drought. We do have some critical conditions. And wow, nothing. Oh, that's probably why. It was all the way out there. How did it do that? Let's try this again. I'm like, that was not right. Okay, here you go. So, tornado for the potential hazard type. If you look over here to the effective layer STP with sign in down here in the bottom right. So, this blue line here is what it's predicting here. And here's your bars for the tornado strengths here. So, a high chance for probably for EF0, EF1, and even EF2. Probably a medium chance for EF3, but a low chance for EF4+. So, there's probably a chance for a strong tornado out there in this type of setup. You actually do have good K values of about 1200. You got the shear in place. You could probably see some hail. And the supercells could be significant by the look into that forecast sounding. You see the severe weather front may be able to continue to tomorrow, which we'll take a look into that. Not tomorrow. Saturday. Look in here. The Cape is good to go. There could be a weak supercell in there. Potential tornado. You got the shear in place. Seems like there's a medium chance for EF0, EF1. Very low chance for EF4, EF3. Probably a near medium chance for EF2. So, probably weak tornadoes out there. Weak tornado chance. Take a look at the NAM here. Now, NAM model usually overdone things. Usually. So I'm wondering what the supercell composite is. So it could be a little bit higher than the GFS here. It's also a little bit high res. I can tell it's overdone already. Look at that. Yeah, that is way overdone. Look down into Louisiana here. That is way too high of a risk there. Let's go towards the end of the run. Seems like it's, it has a really far south here with this run here from the NAM. So I'm kind of surprised here. There's a tornado front, but we do have a cap in place here, as you can see here. If that red line overrules the white, the dashed line yellow, the cover's yellow. When they both go over each other, that's a cap. So you can't have storms to develop to go up in the atmosphere. So that's what a cap means. Cape, a little over 1,000. You got the shear place, probably a weak supercell. Seems like there's a chance for some large hail. And over down here, there's a high chance for EF0, EF1, EF2, medium chance for EF3, and a low chance for EF4 plus. Now, this is the chance of the potential strength if a tornado occurs in the area, if. So, there's a big if in that. So, yeah. If y'all guys got any questions, you can put it in the chat. I'll answer your questions. Let's look into the vorticity here. Not a lot of vorticity, so I think the NAM could be a little bit underdone with this here. We should probably look into the dew points as well, because dew points can be a major factor with this here. It's got 60 dews there to the Texas and Oklahoma state line there. See some of those higher amounts, -6. That's the lifting index there. I don't really know what it exactly does. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much it here. So, do not have a lot of people watching on the live stream. So, I'm going to end it here, guys. So, hopefully, you guys enjoy with this quick update. If y'all do like this video, hit that like button. If you do like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification to never miss an upload. If y'all guys get any questions about this, watching as a video, you can put it in the comment section down below. I'll answer you guys questions. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.